Welcome everyone to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host Sean Gale, alongside my partner Jack and Nicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you've not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. Week 1 is here.
Yeah, it is.
It's kickoff. It's Thursday Night Football. And it's a decent game.
A decent game, they'd say.
A decent game. When the Buffalo Bills make their way to LA to take on the Super Bowl champion Rams. What are your thoughts going into this decent game?
I mean, God, you got two of the best teams, two of the most favorited teams possibly, two of the highest powered offenses, and definitely going to be a star-studded matchup to kick off the season. I mean, they couldn't have picked a better opponent for the champion Rams to play right away. I mean, this is going to set the tone for both of these teams. Somebody's going to have to come out, and you got Josh Allen versus Matthew Stafford. You got Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs. You got Jalen Ramsey, Tre'Davious White. You got all of these players, and, we were going to break down right now just a little bit about, our game picks. What are these X factors, people to look out for, and, just how big this game is going to be.
I mean, I think this is a potential Super Bowl matchup again, quite honestly. Yeah. I think it's definitely plausible that the Rams are back in the Super Bowl. A big loss for them during the offseason was Andrew Whitworth, the star left tackle, was holding it down, but 39 coming out of Super Bowl win, you know what I mean? It was time for him to retire, and we wish him all the best of luck here from us for sure. So that's going to be the big spot I think that you're going to be paying attention in this game is how does the new left tackle, Joe Noteboom, their 2018 third-round pick, fill pretty big shoes in a pretty big role. This is your blindside tackle. It's the guy who's supposed to protect your quarterback. Now, we all know Matthew Stafford, elbow injury right now. He's supposed to be fine for the season. He's going to play through it, as we've seen time and time again. But a storyline that we're going to be monitoring and paying attention to.
Definitely.
If that left line is not holding down the way they used to. And what's funny is that Von Miller signed a huge deal with the Buffalo Bills just off the Super Bowl with the Rams. Will be lining up most likely in that spot against that left tackle, trying to go after his former teammate Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I was talking about just the matchups of these players on both sides of the ball, and Von Miller now on the Bills, and then you got Aaron Donald on the Rams. I mean, there's going to be pressure for both quarterbacks, but with this injury, you're going to hope that the guys around Stafford are really able to take it off him. You got Cooper Kupp, obviously. Sean mentioned in our last video. Cooper Kupp, one of the had one of the rare triple crowns last year, led the league in receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns. Top fantasy receiver, definitely somebody everyone's going to be watching. And they got somebody else, I think, this summer, didn't they, that's going to help Matthew Stafford out a little bit.
Ooh, his name is Allen Robinson, wide receiver. Yeah. Now, he did not have a very strong 2021 season, and that was largely in part due to that Bears offense, rookie quarterback, and it seemed like Matt Nagy was game planning actively against Allen Robinson at times.
Yeah, the contract situation, there was holdouts, there was, he wasn't getting targeted in the game. It was everything.
A lot of weird things going on. That will not be the case with Sean McVay. He's now going to have Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson. Obviously, Cam Akers is going to be back, hopefully fully healthy. Both him and Henderson have been dealing with some slight injuries during the offseason thus far. Van Jefferson obviously will be a big part of that, and Tyler Higbee. But this offense, for the most part, they lose OBJ with that ACL injury. Possibility, they've kept the door wide open for him to return. They said they wanted to, but getting Allen Robinson into the fold is a brilliant move by the Rams. And it seems like when they don't have any cap space, they find ways to make cap space and sign players that need to get signed. They got Cooper Kupp as well to the big contract.
Yeah, and now you got all those guys locked up, and you think to yourself, how are you going to repeat? Who's going to be, our biggest issue coming in for the whole year? It's definitely going to be the Bills. Right now, the Bills are favored by Vegas as the number one team to go out as the favorites to go win it all this year. And, the Rams, right now, they are, fourth, still a very high ranking as far as the Vegas odds go. But when it comes to the Bills, you have Josh Allen now coming off of 2 seasons in a row being the top fantasy quarterback, just showing statistically how much his output is. Stephon Diggs there. We have Isaiah McKenzie, Gabe Davis coming up this year, Dawson Knox. We have a lot in the backfield, Devin Singletary, and now rookie James Cook coming out of Georgia. And like Sean said, we have Von Miller out on the defense. They got 2 great safeties on this Bills team. I mean, what can the Bills do to actually take down the Rams team? I'm sure a lot of people are, looking at the Rams, as the favorites coming into the game. But what are you thinking?
I don't think there's an easy way to blanket a Sean McVay offense. There is no do this or that. he comes in with the trick plays. He's going to give you a lot of different looks. It's very similar to the look at Matt LaFleur's offense. Who they're all part of that same coaching tree. Look at Kyle Shanahan's offense, similar coaching tree. The Mike McDaniels. They come up with a lot of plays. They want to move their set pieces around, make sure that their top players find openings. I mean, Cooper Kupp all last season with Kevin O'Connell was able to do that. For me, I think if you're the Rams right now, it's pressure, or if you're the Bills right now, it's pressure. We know. I just talked about Whitworth. I just talked about the left side. You just got Von Miller. You have Greg Russo, the rookie from first rounder from 2021.
A lot of D-line depth on that team.
A lot of D-line depth. Let's not forget Ed Oliver and even AJ Epinesa, a second round pick for them as well. They have the depth. I think let's go right after that left tackle, right off the bat. Let's put my best player up against your questionable position. So that's Von Miller up against that questionable position. Let's see who's going to win that battle. And I think 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Von Miller.
Yeah.
And putting that pressure on Matthew Stafford, forcing him out of the pocket. That's what the Titans were able to do, and they were able to convert on 3 different turnovers. Yeah. So I think that's what they're going to have to do. Rely on Von Miller, attack that left side. There's no more Andrew Whitworth, and make Matthew Stafford as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, I mean, and Matthew Stafford, we've seen him in so many situations play through injury. He is getting to that age now where you thank God he has the team around him that he does. For me, I think that it's all about Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is going to be an unstoppable force this year. A lot of people have him as an early MVP candidate. I mean, it just could be capable with the people that he has. What I'm really looking for, like you said, is the fact that the Bills can create the pressure for the Rams in this game. The Rams do have the talent to do it, but Josh Allen, I think, will be the X factor for me. Despite the fact that I lean more towards the Rams in this game, he is someone you'll have to consider. Their offensive line is going to be great. He's going to have Deion Dawkins protecting him on the left side, and a whole bunch of protection from that offensive line. I'm just interested to see how many times Aaron Donald can get after him.
Yeah, and a name that we haven't even mentioned that deserves to be mentioned has been one of the best linebackers in our generation. How dare you have your phone on mobile record? Unprofessional. But one of the best linebackers in our generation that just signed with the Rams in the offseason and left his team after a long, almost, 10 years?
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner signed with the Rams in the offseason, and that was a huge signing. And I think people don't understand, yes, he's 32 years old, he's up there in his age, but there's been no sign of slowing down in his production whatsoever. He's an absolute beast. His front seven is looking really, really good for the Rams, and I think if there's a linebacker in the league that can do well at containing a quarterback like Josh Allen, it's going to be Bobby Wagner. And don't forget, he can also go out there and cover as well. So don't be surprised if he gets in on some of those under for the slant routes on Diggs and Gabe Davis and is able to cover Dawson Knox pretty well. I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm just going to put that in now. They're currently not the favorite, believe it or not. It's the Bills. They're minus 2.5 favorites on over-under at 51.5 points. I'm definitely going to take the over on that. As well as I think you are probably. And I'm going to take the Rams. I just don't think that they're going to lose week 1 after coming off this Super Bowl. We just saw the Aaron Donald holding the 2 helmets in practice up against the Bengals in a brawl. I just think that there's too much going on with this Rams team. I don't know if they're definitely going to win the Super Bowl. And for this season, they're definitely contenders. But I think week 1 at home against the Bills, they show up and they show out.
Yeah, no, I mean, now I'm thinking, with all there's so many X factors like we talked about going into this game. For me, I know the Bills are the favorites for the whole season, but like Sean said, I don't know if winning this game essentially tells me that the Rams are going to win the whole thing.
Yep.
But I think that the Rams at home, they're comfortable, so much talent returning from a Super Bowl team, plus the talent they brought in, Bobby Wagner, Allen Robinson. You still got Jalen Ramsey going up against Stephon Diggs, which, I believe Stephon's still going to have a great game, but that is still a factor you got to consider for your whole offense for Josh Allen. He has in the past been, cleaning up his turnovers, but has created turnovers early in the season for himself against good teams. So I am going to go with the Rams. I am going to take the over as well. I see that just as, 52-point game. I see as, a 28-24 game. I do see even the good defenses, there's going to be a lot of pressure for these teams to outscore each other. So I am going to go with the over on this.
It's something going to be interesting. And what's most fascinating about this game as we're going into it, and something that just popped into my head as we're talking about points, because we need for points to happen is good offenses.
Yeah.
Both these guys, Sean McVay, Sean McDermott, both named Sean, also just me. They lost their offensive coordinators. Brian Daboll now with the Giants, Kevin O'Connell now with the Vikings. So it's going to be interesting also to see how these 2 really stellar and high-powered offenses that have dominated the AFC and NFC and the NFL adjust in this first week. And obviously, they have a huge test against one another. So it's going to be, to me, it's going to be, I don't think it will, like I've said about the Packers, your week 1 doesn't necessarily set the tone for the rest of the season. I think it can set a tone, but it won't necessarily be, okay, that's what you are and that's it. But it's definitely going to be interesting because these offenses are going up against two good defenses. They don't have their offensive coordinators. So it's going to be a little bit different.
And that's the thing for me is I think that, with the Bills, you look at what they did last year. You have the best scoring defense and the one of the top 3 scoring offenses in the whole league. The Rams, were middle of the pack at times, but they really found their stride at the end there. I think the Bills are going to be great, but with the new system, you lose Brian Dable, who actually helped with Josh Allen the last 3 or 4 years. That is going to be somewhat of an adjustment. I think that they start to really hit their stride like after this game, once they get this nice long week after. But I do think the Rams do take it at home.
I love that. All right, Thursday Night Football. Stay tuned for Week 1 kickoff 8:20. Should be a great one.
Yeah.
The Bills go on and take the Rams. Thank you for listening and stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Get ready for the game. Get ready for some more content coming. And like Sean said, get ready September 8th, 8:20 kickoff. Going to be Bills, Rams. Going to be an awesome one. And check us out, JustSayingFootball.com, Just Saying Football on YouTube, and Just Saying No GWJS on Instagram for all your video article updates. Thank you for watching.
Enjoy.